Good morning, recovery friend. Let's go ahead and get into Courage to Change this morning. And it is February 16. I'll get right into it. All right. In a tornado, you not only have to look out for the tremendous winds, but also whatever the winds pick up and hurl in your direction. Like a tornado, alcoholism often brings along additional problems, including verbal, physical, and sexual abuse, illness, debt, prison, infidelity, and even death. Some of these problems can be so embarrassing that we don't dare to talk about them. But in Al Anon, we learn that we are only as sick as our secrets. Until we let them out into the light, they keep us trapped. Most of us find it best to share our secrets with someone we can trust, someone who understands the disease of alcoholism. No matter how hopeless, different, and ashamed we may feel, there are Al Anon members who have been through similar crises and are willing to listen and help. Here's the daily reminder part. All right. The times I most want to hide out with my secrets are probably the times I most need to reach out and share them with others. When facing a difficult situation, let me remember that my higher power, God, speaks through other people. I don't have to face it alone. And here is the quote for the day. It's, we move from being at the mercy of any problem that comes along to an inner certainty that no matter what happens in our lives, we will be able to face it, deal with it, and learn from it with the help of our higher power, which is God. All right. So the first thing that came up was the tornado metaphor. I really like the tornado metaphor. They have the tornado metaphor in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, where it says that an alcoholic is like a tornado swirling and whipping through other people's lives, causing all kinds of damage. And then once the alcoholic stops drinking, then the alcoholic looks around and goes, yep, it looks like the tornado's gone. All right. I don't see a problem, when there's all this wreckage and destruction and people crying and things that are broken and can never be repaired, and lots of work to repair other things. Those things are around, but the alcoholic is like, what? So which is it's oh man, it's so true. However, the alcoholic in my life is still drinking. Overall these years, a lifetime of drinking, which is truly shocking to me, that somebody could have so many decades of drinking. It's the human body. The human body is truly a magnificent thing. But I know not all people can handle that drinking lifestyle. And I know I've met many people that have told me that they're alcoholic, husband or friend or somebody didn't make it when they drank, that their bodies couldn't handle it, and that's the reality. That's the terrible terrible reality. So we deal, growing up, I was always taught to don't tell anybody about anything that goes on in our house, in our household. We keep everything to us. You don't tell them anybody anything. And my household life was like a tornado. My family of origin, it was like a tornado, and I would look at other people's lives, and seemingly they looked pretty steady. And my grandparents were people of faith. They were churchgoers. They followed Jesus, and I always noticed how consistent and calm their lives were, while my family life was like up and down and up and down, and just emotionally so intense, and I had so much fear and stress, and it was just tremendously emotionally draining emotion, and there's just a lot of emotion going on all the time. And then my grandparents would just be like, smooth hum through life. So I knew that they had something that my family of origin, my mom and dad, in my home, that I didn't have. So I knew that there was something out there, and lo and behold, there is. So living clean and sober, a lifestyle, is an even kill comparatively to living a life that involves substances. And I know some of you still have it in your home, and an alcoholic or alcoholics, and that's its own journey, and that's why you're most likely coming to a place like this to get out of that chaos for a little while, and get a little bit of peace and serenity, and then have to go back. That's why we need these little moments together, in order to recharge, in order to feel sane where there's lots of insanity going on. And I have to have a place where I go, oh yeah, that was totally insane behavior. I need to just hang out for a little while, and remind myself that not all life is like that. And it's important to get these moments of quiet and still, and know that God's presence is in these moments, and then work out of life from here, because the emotional chaos is too much. It's too much for anybody. And we all have a limit. I have a limit. I have a limit of how much emotion I could handle, how much chaos I could handle. I don't have an infinite capacity for other people's chaos, and I have the responsibility and power, with God's help, to have these moments of peace and serenity. So that's it for today. All right, friend. I will see you in the next meditation, and take care. God bless.